everyone, Matt from the pre-sales team at Net Support here, and today I've got a technical video for you where we're going to be taking a look at how to deploy the classroom.cloud Windows student using Microsoft Intune. Now, this video is designed for people who are using classroom.cloud at a single school, or if you're managing multiple schools through your classroom.cloud web portal and each one of those schools is linked to their own individual Microsoft 365 tenancy. If your situation is you're managing multiple schools and they all go into a single Microsoft 365 tenant, I've actually done a different video because the setup process is slightly different. So you can use this method, but it's going to involve a lot more work to get set up. So I recommend you look up the other video and use that method because it's going to save you loads of time in the long run. But if this is the video for you, a few things we just need to cover before we jump into Intune, and that is grabbing some files. So from your classroom.cloud web portal, click on to Sites, click onto your site and Installers, and you want to click Download MSI. Now, if you're managing multiple sites, but they're going into individual Microsoft 365 tenancies, it doesn't matter where you get the MSI from. So you can download the MSI file from any one of your sites and use that for the next step of the video. So now we've downloaded the MSI, we can jump into the Intune web portal and we can set up the app deployment. So to do that, first of all, click on Apps and then All Apps. Click on the Add button here. From this drop down, you're going to want to select a line of business app. Then we need to select the app package file. So this is our MSI. So open up the file browser, navigate to where you've downloaded the MSI, click on Open and then OK. Then we come to the app information screen. So there's two fields we need to fill in here. So the first one is the publisher. So I'm just going to enter in Net Support. And the second one is the command line arguments. And we need to populate this because the way Intune deploys an MSI is a little bit different to an on-prem solution such as Group Policy or SCCM. So with the on-prem solutions, we read the configuration that's needed. So the bit that tells the student to connect to your classroom.cloud environment and not somebody else's, we read that from the file name. So if I just quickly show you my MSI file, I've removed my account ID. So it's not being splashed all over YouTube, but you can see there's various information here. So that's a site ID and that's the region there. So that is read during install and that's popped into the registry so your software knows to connect to your particular classroom.cloud environment. Now, with Intune, when the MSI is copied down to the local machine for install, it renames the MSI. So that way of doing the configuration basically breaks, we can't use it. So in order to get the configuration onto the machine, we need to enter the configuration as command line arguments into this field. So to do that, three values. So first of all, site ID. So my site ID is 1. Next, I need to do the account ID. So again, enter account ID equals, and you can get all this information from your classroom.cloud web portal. So for your site, expand that out, installers, and then you've got your site configuration in the center of the page here. So I've already got my account ID selected, so I'm just going to copy that and paste that into the field there. And then finally, I need region. So region equals and then UK South. Now there is one other option you can add at this point. So at the moment with this configuration, when the software installs, it's not going to put an entry into the add remove program section under your Windows settings. If you do want a program entry there, you can force that to appear by putting in the following value. So ARP, so that stands for add remove programs, equals 1 will make sure that there's an entry in there. If you're happy with it being hidden, then you don't need to add this in. Now you'll see there's various other options that can be selected, values that can be entered. You don't need to enter any further data. You can if you want, but I'm just going to leave everything else as is and click on next. Then we come to the assignments. So this is where we're going to select groups containing devices that we want to install the software to. Now, you can do this when you're setting up the app at this point, or you can skip it and you can set up the group assignments after you've set up the app within Intune. Now, what I would recommend is for the initial deployment, you set up a group containing just one test machine, deploy out to that, make sure everything's working, make sure the device is appearing within your classroom.cloud web portal. When you're happy that the application package is all correct, then you can add in additional groups and sort of deploy it out further across your network. But obviously that's entirely up to you. But just to show you how you would do this here, you need to add the group under the required section. So click on add group and just give that a second there to pull in my list of groups. And I'm going to use my Grainshill student devices, so select that, click on select, and then that appears here. So that will install the software to any device within that Grainshill student devices group. So once you're happy with that, click on next. We get this review screen here, so I can see the information that I've added in on the app configuration portion of the setup, and then I've got the groups that I'm going to deploy to there. So we're happy with that. I'm going to click on create. And what this will do is we'll save that configuration, and then it will upload the app to the Intune platform. So if you click on the notifications here, what we should see appear here in a moment is a sort of a progress message that indicates the percentage. Yep, so you can see that there. So it's showing me how far through it is uploading that MSI. Once that gets up to 100%, the app is all ready. And if you've already set your groups up to deploy to, that will then begin to deploy the application out to your machines. So we've now got the app deployment set up, but I did mention that you could edit it and change the groups that you deploy in the app to after you've done this setup. So to do that, you would go back into apps, click on all apps. So we've now got our classroom.cloud student here. So I'd simply click on that and click on properties. And if I wanted to edit any of the app information, I can do it by clicking on the edit link here. But in order to change the group assignments, if I click on the one at the bottom here, and this is where I could add in additional groups. If I had another group here, or if perhaps I'd set up a test group with the initial app deployment, and then I wanted to add in additional groups to deploy out to afterwards, I can do that here. So it's exactly the same as I showed you previously. Just add group, select the groups you want, and they'll appear there. Now, one thing that does sometimes catch people out if they haven't used Intune before is uninstalling. And the mistake we typically see people make is if they want to uninstall the software from their devices, what they will do is they will come in here, they will click on delete and remove from this required section, and then think that will remove the software. It won't. What this will do by removing the group from the required section, it won't deploy that app to any new machines. So any machines that haven't got the software on, it won't deploy to, but any that already have it, it will just leave it there. So in order to uninstall the software, what you would need to do is add your group into the uninstall section. So exactly the same as before, click on add group, pick the group containing the machines you want to remove the software from, and then you click on review and save, and then that would remove the software from any of those machines within that group there. Now, when it comes to actual deployment of the application, you are probably going to find that your devices appear within the classroom.cloud web portal before Intune actually reports that the software has been installed in the Intune portal. The Intune portal does seem sort of quite slow to update, so it might look that the software is not installed at all out to any of your devices, but I would actually monitor from the classroom.cloud web portal rather from the Intune portal. Like I say, this can be a little bit slow updating, so it doesn't necessarily give you a reflection in real time on what's going on. So the final thing I want to cover in this video is just a little bit of configuration you need to do from within the classroom.cloud web portal in order to license your devices. Now, if you're an existing customer, you're probably already aware of this step, but if you've just signed up for a trial, you might not know about this. So what you want to do is select the site you've deployed the devices out to. So I'm going to select Grange Hill here, and then you'll see under unassigned devices we've got one unassigned device. So at the moment the software is installed on this device, but it doesn't have a license. Now, in order to license devices, we need to assign them to a device group. So if you haven't set any device groups up already, you can create them under the device groups menu option and just simply click on this add device group button here at the top of the screen. And then when you've got some device groups, two ways you can assign your machines. So you can either do it on an individual level, click on the three dots and click assign, or if you've got multiple machines, you can bulk select them using the tick boxes here, and then click on bulk assign devices, pick a device group, click on yes. That will then license that device. And if we click on the devices menu, we can see that's the device I've just licensed there, and it's showing as available, and it's all ready to use with the classroom.cloud software. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again soon.